Hello, hopefully you can all hear me. Um, Welcome to Playos Connect, unlocking new opportunities for developers. I'm very excited to introduce Playos Connect to you here today. With Playos Connect and App Market, I truly believe we will revolutionize the user experience of vehicle software and how in-vehicle software is distributed, giving customers access to user experiences that go beyond what we, the car makers, can produce. This is our opportunity ahead. So what is Playos Connect? Playos Connect is not just in-vehicle infotainment software. It's a holistic user experience system for Hyundai, Genesis, and Kia vehicles, and potentially more in the future. It utilizes Android Automotive OS, and it runs both on traditional non-SDV or non-software defined vehicles, as well as software defined vehicles where it controls a much larger set of vehicle behaviors. Importantly, this application environment is identical between the electrically very different types of vehicles. And this is part of the story of why Playos Connect is a great platform for developers. Connect has AI-powered intelligence built in. It was born during this AI revolution that we're currently in. And we were able to deeply integrate AI into the system. We have three layers, starting with Gleo, our in-vehicle agentic AI system. Agentic AI can autonomously set goals, make decisions, and take actions to achieve outcomes, often across multiple steps in different contexts. And this is very different than Alexa or Siri. Secondly, every application shipping with Connect is AI-enabled. With this, Gleo can control any part of an app on your behalf. And finally, there are foundational AI services like LLM, large language model, text-to-speech, and speech-to-text, etc. Importantly, all of these are available to third-party developers. Another highly remarkable attribute of Connect is that it's highly configurable. It can adapt to vehicles with a different number of screens, different shapes, different sizes. It also handles different brand identities and vehicle capabilities. And that's because it needs to have a unified code base, one code base across all vehicles, models, and brands, enabling collective improvement and faster, less risky, and less expensive over-the-air updates. So one system for millions of vehicles. This makes improving software after the vehicle purchase practical on a massive scale that has never been achieved before in the automotive industry. And why we're here today, it is open and extensible. It supports first-party and third-party apps via Android-based App Market, enabling a rich ecosystem of customer functionality that is directly integrated into the vehicle. This has never been so accessible before. Now let's talk about the most important thing, user experience. This is the Connect reference design. It can be on a one-screen system. The UI pattern should be quite familiar to users because it's basically your smartphone combined with industry best practices from automotive. On the left-hand side, you see our driving view. This is our instrument cluster. On the bottom, you have a global navigation bar where you can access what we call first surface controls, like climate control or seat heaters. It's also where you launch apps. And in the app area, we're currently showing two apps side by side. Connect currently supports one or two apps simultaneously. Now let's look back a little bit at where we came from. In the beginning of electronic infotainment, there was just the radio. And later on, we added things like 8-track tape or cassette tape or CD. Eventually, these units gained a screen and maybe navigation. And I'll say one nice thing about this era, and that was at least you could upgrade it. So when you purchased your car, and over time, maybe the system was getting old, and you could just pull it out, and you could buy an aftermarket solution and upgrade. But that's not necessarily true today. Today, we're in the era of integrated, proprietary infotainment. And we're still in the middle of this. We have connectivity has been added, larger touchscreens, and vehicle controls. But by adding vehicle controls, we actually made it impossible now to upgrade with an aftermarket solution because it was built in. And while this system was technically updatable, in practice, OEMs lacked the processes and infrastructure to safely and cost-effectively upgrade these vehicles. And so these systems really didn't improve much over time. With Playos Connect, we've solved these issues, including Android operating system as a basis, with the largest install base of any operating system in the world. We've added AI. We've made AppMarket a cornerstone of the product experience. And we have not one, but two different types of OTA updates. You can see the first OTA update is lower in the stack. This is the system update. And this allows us to upgrade Android itself and some of the basic features and the SDK. And the other OTA update is on AppMarket. This allows us to control the update of any app individually on your own timeline, and you don't have to wait for a system update. The combination of these two things makes Playos Connect dramatically easier and less expensive to update, enabling us to make real improvements to the experience over time. So this has been done before, but never at this scale. So clearly, we've learned a lesson or two from the smartphone industry. So quickly, I want to cover some key points of the user experience. One, we have this familiar smartphone user interaction. We have integrated Gleo, an agentic AI system, seamless integration with smartphones and your data. We have software-defined vehicle product experience integration, AppMarket software, plug-and-play hardware accessories. I'm very excited about this. I'll show you more in a moment. We have continuous improvements through OTA updates. And I really can't stress enough about how important over-the-air updates are. This technology alone has the capability to make in-vehicle software experiences tremendously better, and it's what's been missing in cars up until now. And we have enhanced vehicle security for users and their data because we are based off of Android operating system. So familiarity with smartphone interactions is not just about adding a touchscreen and swiping. Like smartphones, philosophically, we're focused on the simplicity of features and the need for self-discovery, which are critical for people learning how to use the system. And that contrasts with this unfortunate industry trend of simply moving the hard controls up into the touchscreen, which has caused so much of this backlash against touchscreens that we heard about in the last several years. We also rely on an app ecosystem and always being connected, like smartphones. And we are profile-based, so your settings are your own settings. Gleo AI, as I mentioned, is our agentic AI system. Gleo is conversational, not command-driven. So you don't have to remember the sort of magic words. And Gleo can interpret what you want to do because it's based on large language model technology. So this is a very simple example. You can say something like, I need coffee, and Gleo can transform your comment into action, search for coffee shops nearby, and even start navigation based on what Gleo infers is your goal. This is a very simple example, but the difference between a command-driven voice assistant of the past and a truly conversational, context-aware, and personalized agentic AI system is its transformational end user experience. And this is just the beginning of Gleo and our AI fabric in general. Now we come to App Market. The App Market is an ecosystem of third-party apps. From the App Market, users can find and install their applications. And later this year, we'll be adding payment to App Market. So many of the early apps I've seen are just great smartphone apps that are now able to run directly on our system, and this is very convenient. But more and more, I've been seeing developers utilizing vehicle data and the Playos Connect SDK and create those apps which are in-vehicle experiences that we, as the creators of the system, have never imagined before. And that's very exciting. Plug-and-play devices. So this is our latest SDV testbed vehicle, and this is where we try out our latest user experiences. And here you can see an optional digital multifunction driver display. That's the cluster there, 78. And an optional snap-on button bar below the center display. Plug-and-play devices can be added at pre-designated attachment points throughout the vehicle. And car designers can add them wherever they want in the cabin. Entirely new devices can be created, including third-party manufacturers, extending and personalizing the capability of your vehicle. This technology is just getting started, and it's already got a target production vehicle. This is a more advanced design of the button bar. And what I love about plug-and-play devices is that it will bring a higher level of tactility, upgradability, and personalization into the vehicle cabin. I'm very much looking forward to having something like this in my vehicle. So there are many remarkable user experiences in Playos Connect that you can see outside, but I'll stop at this one here. This is our lane-level navigation system that is deeply integrated into our autonomous driving technology. As you can see, the navigation app is able to receive data from the ADAS and perception system by showing the state of the traffic light. The same is true for the 3D ADAS view, which integrates route information into the 3D world. And this is just some of the interesting user experiences included with the first version of Playos Connect. So let's talk about developing for Playos Connect. There are many advantages and opportunities in this ecosystem. First, market reach. We're planning on 22 million Connect vehicles by 2030, all using a single marketplace over 3 brands. As for the developer experience, we're utilizing Android, something that developers are already familiar with. Hyundai will handle the driver safety and the certification. And we also utilize and extend Android's robust concept of secure user data. This enables developers to directly request user data, and the users can approve directly on the system. So there are several types of apps and certifications that you can request, and here are some examples. With parked-only apps, essentially any app can be used because there are no safety concerns. This is the Xbox app, and I was playing with this earlier today, and it was really fun. It's amazing. You can play Xbox directly in your car. So clearly we'll be able to play some of the world's best video games. That's great. The next example are background apps. This one is called Novo Insurance, and it runs in the background while you drive. With your permission, it collects your driver behavior and provides you with savings on your car insurance. Then we come to distraction-optimized apps. This is our integrated navigation app, and to get certified as a distraction-optimized app, developers will need to know how to develop software that they can safely operate while driving and require more validation and certification. This path, though, allows for more freedom in design than the distraction-optimized app templates. So we'll be adding distraction-optimized templates in the future, and if you've ever used Android Auto's driver-safe templates, this will be familiar to you. Like smartphones and tablets, your apps can run on a variety of different screen sizes, from the smaller 10-inch screens to the ultra-wide 34-inch screens, and we'll most certainly be adding more form factors in the future. Playos Connect also supports a variety of configuration of screens, from 1 all the way to 7. However, as app developers, you only need to worry about the app container you're running in. You're either in landscape or you're in portrait. As long as your UI is responsive and you've ensured that you have resolution independence, there should be minimal work required to bring your apps to all the different sizes and configuration that Connect supports. And speaking of apps, Connect ships with many default apps. There's Glaio AI, there's radio, media, phone and messaging, App Market, and of course, Android Auto and CarPlay. And as developers, you have access to the same systems and data that these apps have through the Playos Connect SDK. So what do you need to do to develop a third-party app for Playos Connect? Apps don't need to utilize the Playos Connect Automotive SDK. They will run just fine using the standard Android SDK. There is no additional barriers to entry. Apps that want to take advantage of everything that the vehicle has to offer can use the Playos Connect SDK, but it's not mandatory. We've worked really hard to make it very easy to be part of the Playos Connect ecosystem and provide our users with great apps. Today, you'll learn more about our powerful SDKs, and these are the same SDKs that we use internally. Vehicle, ADAS, location, navigation, how to integrate with accessories, etc. All of this information can be found in one place, the Playos Playground. The Playground is one place to go to get everything you need to start making apps, including the comprehensive design guide, the developer guide, the Playos SDK and sample code, as well as the Playos Connect emulator and DevBox. Today in upcoming sessions, you'll be able to dive deeper in example apps and how to utilize the SDKs. So driving and navigation app example, we'll look at ADAS SDK, location SDK, and navigation SDK. And the AI app example will look at the speech-to-text SDK, the text-to-speech SDK, as well as the LLM SDK. So finally, let me summarize. Playos Connect plus App Market has a built-in user base of over 22 million by 2030. We have comprehensive SDKs that you'll get to play with today. You can manage your own app updates on your own timeline, which is very important to keeping your apps current and up to date. It's easy to design and develop for because we have Android Automotive. And as you can see, we have a world-class product experience. I hope that provided some insight into Playos Connect and how it unlocks new opportunities for developers. Thank you very much.
네, 감사합니다. 플레이어스 커넥트 소개 잘 들었습니다. 이어서 시간 관계상 Q&A는 질문 하나만 말씀드려 보도록 하겠습니다. 내 앱을 빠르게 배포하려면 무엇을 해야 하나요? 어떤 조정을 해야 하나요? 라는 질문에 답변해 주시길 바랍니다.
What do I need to do for rapid deployment of my application? The main things, if you're not using the Playos Connect SDK, the main thing that you may run into is a scale issue. So every screen has a different scale. So it's to do with size, pixel density. But automotive is different because the screen is much further from you than your phone. And so if you've ever developed, for example, for Android TV, where you're sitting quite far away, you always have to adjust your scale because fonts need to be bigger and things like that. So you'll want to check it on DevBox, or you'll want to check it on the emulator. And once you get that scale right, there shouldn't be any other barriers. It should work like normal Android.
답변 감사합니다. 한 가지만 더 여쭤보도록 하겠습니다. 이 플랫폼에는 광고가 허용되나요?
Yes, so advertising is allowed on the platform. Right now, though, in general, that is not allowed during driving view, okay? But I say in general because it depends on how the advertising is put. If you have, pop-up ads and things like that, clearly that's not allowed while driving. That would be a distraction. However, if you have, I don't know, logos on top of a map and you're just driving by, this probably would be okay, but we will have to approve it on a case-by-case basis.
답변 잘 들었습니다. 감사합니다. 시간 관계상 질문은 여기까지만 드리고요. 여러분들이 주신 질문들이 다음 세션에서 많이 해소될 거라고 예상이 됩니다. 다음 세션 계속 같이 해 주시길 바랍니다. 좋은 발표 들려주신 에릭 우드님께 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
Okay, thank you.